Because at this very point of the development, in 1985, within a conference, at those times the Society of TRIZ people grew up. At this very point, within a conference in Petrozavodsk, Altshuler announced next step of development, that he said that one of the very important direction to be developed, this is a direction of creative person development, not engineering system. And for most of the people at those times, it was very kind of shocked suggestion, because most of them were engineers. They applied to TRIZ for problem solving for engineering. And the person who built these methods and theory from the beginning, he said that, okay, personally I'm stopped to develop anything in engineering context. I'm going to work in the context of creative person development. And what he did since those times with some of his followers, they collected thousands of biographies of creative persons and tried to analyze how these creative persons resolved their life problems when they tried to go towards their ideas. Including persons like Mozart, and including person like, okay, if you're interested, we can see the list of people. But the list was selected, and the main idea was to see how this creative person became so famous, according to their achievement, according to their contribution. And what was interesting to see, they tried to find regularities of their education, in their formation, in their way of seeing. So this is what Altshuler started to work since 1985. And he did not contribute since this time to the development of engineering TRIZ. And in 1998 he passed away. But since 1970s, the first public university about TRIZ started to work. And we can say that since this time, the community of TRIZ people started to grow dramatically. Before it was just Altshuler and some of his followers. Since this time, there are hundreds of people. For instance, in 1985, in former Soviet Union, there were more than 200 education centers where people learn TRIZ in board of programs that more than 120 hours. 120 academic hours, training courses. More than 200 around former Soviet Union. Okay? Most of them, of course, learned about engineering TRIZ, because at those very time it was just beginning of non-engineering. So once again, if people say, I solved my problem with TRIZ, it cannot be like that, because the subject for TRIZ was designed in order to support development of methodology. And when people solve problems, they use some technique, they use some methodology, process, or methods. Why it is so important, why do I spend your time to clarify this question? In order to remove a lot of confusion that arises among the people. Because when people say, okay, I use TRIZ, they are proud to say like that. Because today TRIZ becomes free of charge brand name all around the world. It's easy to communicate. Whatever you are doing as a consulting company, if you put onto your flyer that I'm using TRIZ, you can be sure that some attention people grab from around. So, but as a scientist, and the people who are trying to continue development, we need to clarify what is the difference in order to be conscious. Okay? So, for problem solving we need this and this, but in order to support development of these methodologies, we need this. As you see, it is not just acronym, theory of inventive problem solving. This is something that was designed in order to support development of the method, like TRIZ. Like TRIZ, to be efficient in inventive problem solving for 20%, 20 remaining % of problems that block us. I would like just to repeat once again. Theory of inventive problem solving is not something that you use in order to solve problems. It's something that you use in order to construct a method, construct technique. Okay? So that's why when people ask me when I have to start to use TRIZ to solve my problem, it's a difficult question for me, you know, because, and the easy answer usually I use, don't use TRIZ if you can solve your problem without.